Okay, this is Go Math lesson 11.6. It's on geometry 6.G.2 and also expressions and equations 6.EE.2c. It's on volume of rectangular prisms. The essential question is, how can you find the volume of rectangular prisms with fractional edge lengths? You can use the formula volume equals length times width times height to find the volume of a rectangular prism when you know the length, width, and height of the prism. So unlock the problem, real world problem. An obento is a single portion meal that is common in Japan. The meal is usually served in a box. A small obento box is a rectangular prism that is 5 inches long, 4 inches wide, and 2.5 inches high. How much food fits in the box? And so it says underline the sentence that tells you what you are trying to find. So we're trying to find how much food fits in the box. Circle the numbers that we need to use. So we're going to use 5, 4, and 2.5. And then find the volume of a rectangular prism. You can use the formula volume equals length times width times height to find the volume of a rectangular prism when you know the length, width, and height of the prism. Step 1, sketch the rectangular prism. Step 2, identify the value for each variable. The length L is 5 inches. The width W is 4 inches. And the height H is 2.5 inches. That's the height. Evaluate the formula. So we have the formula, volume equals length times width times height, and then I'm going to replace the length with 5, the width with 4, and the height with 2.5. And then I'm going to do multiplication. So I need to rewrite this as an improper fraction. So it's going to be 5 over 1 times 4 over 1 times 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2. I'm going to cross cancel because I prefer to do it that way. So the greatest common factor of 4 and 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then I'm just going to multiply across. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. And it's over 1, so 50 divided by 1 is 50. So it's 50 cubic inches. So 50 cubic inches of food fits in the box. You know that the volume of a rectangular prism is the product of its length, width, and height. Since the product of the length and the width is the area of one base, the volume is also the product of the area of one base and the height. So volume of a prism, volume equals area of one base times the height. So that would be written volume equals, it's a capital B because that's area of the base times the height. Example 1. Find the volume of the prism. Step 1. Identify the value for each variable. The height is 2 1/4 inches. And the area of the base, it's a capital B, is 9 squared inches, or 9 inches squared. Evaluate the formula. So the formula is volume equals area of the base times the height. The area of the base is 9, and the height is 2 1/4. So I'm going to go 9 times 2 1/4. So I'm going to have to rewrite this as a mixed. This mixed number is an improper fraction. So it says write the mixed number as a fraction greater than 1. So it's going to be 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9 fourths times 9. So it's 9 over 1 times 9 fourths, which would be 9 times 9, 81 fourths. And then that's improper, so they want us to rewrite it as a mixed number. So it says multiply and write the product as a mixed number. So 81 divided by 4, because remember this line means divide. So this will be 2 times 4 is 8. Bring down my 1. I cannot get a group of 4 out of 1, so it's going to be 0. So it's going to be 20 with 1/4 left over. And then it's inches cubed. So the volume of the prism is 20 1/4 inches cubed. Example 2. Find the volume of the cube. Write the formula. The area of the square base is side squared. The height of a cube is also S. So the volume equals the area of the base times the height, which for a cube would be side cubed. So it says substitute, we're going to do 3.5 for the side. So I'm going to have to do 3.5 to the third power. Write the mixed number as a fraction greater than 1 and then use repeated multiplication. So they want us to write it as an improper fraction. So it's 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7 halves, and it's cubed. I have to multiply that times each time. 7 halves times 7 halves times 7 halves, which would be 7 times 7 is 49 times 7, 28 plus 6. So it's going to be, and they already did the denominator for you. It's 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. 343 over 8. And then they want you to rewrite it as a mixed number. So remember, this line means divide. So they showed you that it goes 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. And then I have 13 divided by 8. Did I do something wrong? Oh, yeah, right there. So 4 minus 2 is 2, bring down the 3. So 23 divided by 8 is 2 times 8 is 16, regroup. 13 minus 6 is 7. So my answer is 42 with 7/8. So the volume of the cube is 42 and 7/8 feet cubed. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more problems for you. Find the volume. So volume equals length times width times height, and I'm going to substitute in the values. So the length is 10.5. The width is 15. And then the height is 25. So I need to rewrite this as an improper fraction. So it's going to be 2 times 10 is 20 plus 1. So it's going to be 21 over 2 times 15 over 1 times 25 over 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 times 1 is 2. So my denominator is 2. My numerator is going to be 21 times 15. And then I have to multiply this 315 times 25. So I have 7,875 divided by 2. Sorry, I ran out of room right there. Nine times 2 is 18. Bring down my 7. 8 times 2 is 16. Bring down my 5, so that'd be 7, which is 14, and then 1's left over. So it's going to be 3,987 and 1/2, because there's 1 left over down here, 1/2 inches cubed. Okay, I'm going to do one more for you. It's a cube, so it's going to be 3/8 times 3/8 times 3/8. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 8 times 8 is 64. And then I have to multiply that by 8 one more time. So it's going to be 27 over 512, and then it's cubic inches. If you have any questions, leave them on the classroom. Thank you.